From my personal angle, or use the word perspective, I don't have a lot of education. I have a high school education. I do regret not having more education. I believe I would have thrived even more with a university education. Nowadays, I always encourage young people to get as much education as you can within a balanced world of go to work. You know, don't rely on other people to take care of your expenses all the time. Go to work and balance even your young years of 18 to 22 with education and work. Earn your own way. I think it's very healthy for young people to learn how to maintain their own existence. Even if they still live with their parents, go to school, get a job to help with those costs, and then you'll understand when you come out of school what it means to have a job. There won't be that shock that I think a lot of people are coming out with now. They've got the education, but they have no work experience. And employers, including us, we look at people and say, well, you've not really done anything. You've been in a classroom, which is great. Congratulations on your degree or your diploma. But what have you done? What have you learned? What have you experienced? What are you bringing to the table? So when it comes to education, I'm all for, especially because I have kids, please get as much education as you possibly can. What education gives you is choice. When there's a lack of education, I believe, in this market, in this economy, you're at the mercy of employers. I've always had this idea too that when you work for other people, you'll never get rich. Other people get to tell you how much you make. Other people get to tell you when you can take your lunch, when you can take your vacation, when you can go to the bathroom. That's control over your existence to the point that I've never been comfortable with. So I've worked for other people in my 20s. I was in retail management from 21 to about 30. But I got to basically run my own show while I had an employer. But even then, I was itching to just get out of that box of you know, having people tell me what I can do and where to be at different times. And I knew then that because of my lack of education, I didn't have a lot of choice. It was only when I got inspired by a roommate of mine. Excuse me. At one point I got divorced, and during the divorce I needed help with my expenses. So I brought in a roommate, a buddy of mine, who happened to be a realtor. And he said to me, word for word, he said, if you work half the hours in real estate that you do in retail management, you'd make twice the money. And I did not believe that. I figured that maybe, okay, if I work half the hours I could make as much money, because you're talking about a bigger ticket item when you get into real estate than you are in retail menswear, right? But I also thought maybe it's possible that if I worked the same hours, I'd make twice the money, again because of the bigger ticket. But working less hours and making more money, that was too much of a stretch in my mind at the time, and that's the point. It was all in my mind. I restricted that potential success myself. I didn't see that as possible until I got into the business. I was happy to know that if I worked the amount of hours I was working, I'd make more money. I was happy with that. And I also wanted to be with my daughter, who was only 2 years old at the time of the divorce. So I wanted to be able to have, you know, joint custody and a lot of access with her, and raise her as I wanted to, and be with her as much time as possible. And that's the flexibility that this business allows. So in that respect, my lack of education didn't hurt me then, and it hasn't hurt me since. But it is an asset that gives choice to people who otherwise might not have choices.